Hi everyone. I am back with a project. I have been absent, as you probably noticed, since about February from doing any kind of projects myself. I just really, frankly, was burned out. I had been doing a lot of design team work for a long time, and I just really needed a break. But I have been keeping up with what you're all doing, and I found some inspiration from Yvonne Preston in the junk journal folios that she was doing. And so I thought I'd try my hand at one. And so that's what I'm here to share with you today. So this particular folio is 4 3/4 wide by 8 1/4 long. There is a journal in it. There is several different pockets that I'll walk you through. And I have used, the front paper is actually a printable from Amity Bloom. And then throughout the journal, I've used printable wallpaper from Ruby and Pearl. So let me walk you through this. All of the paper on the cover, I have backed with brown packing paper, craft paper, and I have distressed all of the edges with one of the Tim Holtz, let me just get it here, one of the Tim Holtz, these little distressors that he has. So I've done that, and then I have used some vintage photo distress oxide on all of the edges. I have added a couple of fabric pieces to the front with some lace underneath, some of this green fabric that I've used in the journal, a couple of lace pieces, and these came from Renee at GT Designs. Thank you, Renee. She sent me a wonderful package of just some beautiful things that also included these beautiful vintage buttons as well, that I've added to the front. I thought about adding some of the same on the back, but I really felt like you wouldn't be able to write in the journal well enough if I did that. So I've just left the back the way it is. I tried a couple of different ways of closing this, different, seam bindings and so on, and in the end really decided that the twine that I've used is really what matches the feel of this journal the best. So let me take you inside. So this, as I said, is a folio. This flips out. Let me just walk you through this. So Heather from Ruby and Pearl had a really neat kind of tutorial on making some different types of tags, and so I kind of followed what she did when I made this tag and then one of the tags at the back. So this is one of her printables from Ruby and Pearl. I've added a little bit of book page, some lace, and so on. Another one of those vintage buttons from Renee. And then on the back, I've just backed it onto some coffee dyed paper and used one of my favorite stamps. And then I have just added some, this is masking tape, that I have just used some of that vintage photo distress oxide on. Quite literally just kind of rubbed it over the masking tape, and it's just beautiful. It's this really kind of beautiful, soft, kind of brown vintage look, so I've added that as well. And then in my stash, I found a few things that I hadn't used, that I had printed. I stamped one of my favorite note stamps on this die cut. And then I've just used some brown paper, again, that I had backed all of the papers for the covers onto. I've used that here, added more tape, and just some of this beautiful vintage lace. Again, that came from Renee from GT Designs. So beautiful. Thank you, Renee, for that. I'll walk you through that journal after. So I like a little bit of symmetry, so that's why I've got on the front of the flip out, it's very similar to the front cover. Again, more of that lace. And then in here, I have this printable postcard, and that is from the Graphics Fairy, and just a embossed tag that I made with a little bit of trim, and then another of those fun wallpaper printable tags from Ruby and Pearl, and I added a little bit more book page, a little bit more of that aged tape, and then a die cut tab, a little button, and so on. And again, I've just stamped my note stamp on the back. So that is the front of the flip. And this paper is, I believe that is from, it's a printable from Raspberry Road Designs. And it's just, I just liked it. In this journal, I just use things that I really like. There's really no kind of theme. Of course, it's shabby chic, but there's really no kind of theme. So this is kind of more recipes. I've got postcards, you know, tags, receipts here, that kind of thing. So it's just all things that I enjoy. Let me open this out. Let me make sure I'm still in frame. There we go. So in the middle, I have added 3 different pockets here, and I'll show you those in just a minute as I take out kind of the inserts that I've got. Added some of my favorite lace here, a few buttons, more of that tape, little tag that I made, and a little bit of tulle at the top. This is a printable from Ruby and Pearl. She has a floral photo kit, and so that's one of those. That's my favorite. I love green and pink, so I love that photo. So there's that. And then in this pocket, this was a photo that I scanned. I have that in my collection, so I've added that to a die cut. And then this is another scanned image. I have these vintage French tags, and I'm getting low on them, so I thought I better scan them. So that's what that is. And then this beautiful button card from Shabby Art Boutique from her Etsy shop. And then the pockets that I've made, these 2 pockets are papers that I got from Atelier Pony, and she has an Instagram account, and she does the most gorgeous hand-painted papers that she embosses and then rubs, I think it's probably the Prima brand of kind of metallics that she rubs over them. And she's just had a whole selection of autumn colors in papers as well that she's done, so I've ordered those and I can't wait for those to come. So I've added 3 pockets. This is a little piece of a really old Marion Smith collection that I thought really went beautiful with the colors in this journal, so I've added that, and then just a little piece of lace here. So a little bit of avocado dyed paper in the back, and then I've just sewn around everything. And you can see that green fabric that I used on the front, I've used to cover the spines as well. On this side, I added just a few pages of some coffee dye papers, just stamped to-do list on it. This is from Ruby and Pearl. I've just punched the top as well of this paper with an edge punch that looks like, you know, torn book page, so I've done that. And that's just, you know, a little place to add some notes and so on if you were completing your journal. Maybe you just make notes of what happened in the day and what picture you might want to add. Underneath, I have added this little pocket, added a little bit of trim here, and then I have a few inserts. This is just a little printable, and unfortunately I didn't look up what shop that came from, but I've added that little printable. I thought it would be a great little label to use in the journal. And then this is another of the vintage French tags that I have scanned that I've added. I made this little envelope with my envelope punch board. I have embossed it, added a little bit of tape, and then I have this, I don't know if you can see that. That is a corner punch that I have. I've had it for a long time, and I just thought it would look nice on the closure of that envelope. And I don't have anything in that envelope, but I thought it was a nice addition. And then I have this telephone message from a telephone message pad that I've added. I thought the colors went nicely. This green, I have to say, is probably one of my favorite Ruby and Pearl wallpapers. Just beautiful, just gorgeous. As I said, you know I love green and pink, so there we go. So let me show you the journal. The journal is, I've sewn it in, and it is completely blank. I've added a variety of papers to it. I really liked kind of the way this kind of was a little bit staggered, so I've left that. You know, normally I would add tabs and so on, and I just decided I wouldn't. You know, the purpose of this is really to use these things in the journal. And so I thought I would just leave it for whoever decides they would like this, as it will be in my Etsy shop, which I will link below. You can add your own things. And with this, I will send along just a few pieces of some of the beautiful edging that came in that package from Atelier Pony. Look at how beautiful those are. They would make great side pockets, and I really did, you know, thought about adding that, but I really wanted this to be a journal that someone could make their own. So just a gorgeous printable from Ruby and Pearl. This is some vintage ledger paper that I have. I think that's another Raspberry Road Designs. I've added a little bit of craft paper here. This is, I believe that's Amity Bloom, and I've made that into just a little pocket here. More ledger paper, some avocado dyed paper, another printable, more vintage pink ledger paper. I love ledger paper, if you can't tell. Little bag that I have that I thought went beautifully, the colors with this. Another Ruby and Pearl printable, and then just a couple more sheets of coffee dyed and avocado dyed paper. And then I've just used some pink thread. Here I have added, I folded over that one printable to make a little pocket here. This side I've cut open. The other side of that blue paper is a smaller piece with a pocket, and I love where this was, you know, torn out of the book, so I've just left that. I love the shabby kind of a look of this, and that is this little project, this little kind of folio journal, kind of shabby chic. You know, little journal that I've made. Now I will show you, I was having some trouble with my sewing machine, so you know, this really is very shabby. But that sewing will not come out, but it's very kind of, it's not as I don't want to say perfect, but it's not what I would normally hope for on one of my projects. So this is going to be available in my Etsy shop, and I'm really loving this. So I'm thinking I will do a couple of these for fall as well. And I may do a little bit more kind of with the journal, but I did want to share this with you. I hope you've had a good kind of spring and summer. You know, I've missed speaking with you all, and I hope everyone is staying well and staying safe. And I will see you hopefully soon in my next video.